Everything on Earth, everything in our solar system, everything in our galaxy, and everything in the universe is made of matter. Matter is a name that scientists have given to everything you can touch, see, feel, or smell. Matter has volume and mass. In other words, matter has substance. And elements are what gives matter its substance, even what makes it exist at all. No element is exactly the same. Each element has their own special characteristics and uses. Although scientists know of many elements, the properties of many of them are similar. Thus, if they are grouped on the basis of their properties, it becomes easy to study and compare their properties. The periodic table of elements is the way of organizing all the known elements, and it is divided into three major groups: metals, nonmetals, and metalloids. Today we will be discussing a group of chemical elements found in the periodic table called alkaline earth metals. The alkaline earth metals are a group of chemical elements in the periodic table with very similar properties. They are all shiny, silvery white, somewhat reactive metals at standard temperature and pressure, have a valence electron of 2. In the modern periodic table, the alkaline earth metals comprise of group 2 elements. We will now be learning about the 6 alkaline metals, starting with the first one, radium.
The boiling point is 1737 degrees Celsius. It's a very volatile and silvery metal. It's very reactive since it's an alkali earth metal. You can find radium in uranium, which is very radioactive. It's used for treating cancer. Because of its radioactivity, it can be harmful to your cells and even healthy cells.
Calcium is a soft gray alkaline earth metal. Like all other alkaline earth metals, number of valence electrons in its outer shell is 2. And it has a high melting and boiling point. Its melting point being 842 degrees Celsius, its boiling point being 1484 degrees Celsius. It is highly reactive to other elements and would most likely bond with halogens to form salts like sodium chloride. Naturally, it is found in high amounts in rocks such as calcite, dolomite, gypsum, etc., and in dairy products. It is used as a main alloying agent in the production of aluminum, magnesium, and iron alloys. It's also used in the creation of cement and the coagulation in the creation of dairy products. Calcium is needed by the human body, but in high amounts, it is poisonous to our body and can cause diseases such as kidney stones, hypercalcemia, and is detrimental for cardiovascular health.
Today, we will be talking about barium. It is an alkaline earth metal that has, like the other alkaline earth metals, 2 valence electrons. Its melting point is 727 degrees Celsius and a boiling point of 1827 degrees Celsius. It is a soft, white, silvery metal that oxidizes with oxygen when exposed. Barium is an essential metal that they can use for making alloys and other building materials or construction materials, which can be used for televisions and electrical devices. It is usually found in China, US, Russia, and other parts of the world. It is first found in Italy, Bologna, in 1845.
Magnesium is an alkaline earth metal, or it's part of the group 2A family. Its period is number 3. It has 2 valence electrons. It's also a metal. It has an a melting point of 650 degrees Celsius and a boiling point of 1090 degrees Celsius. It's a silvery white metal which is solid, hexagonal in structure, ductile, malleable, and it's also lustrous and soft.
Strontium, an alkaline earth metal with an atomic number of 38 and an atomic weight of 87.62. Its melting point is 777 Celsius, while its boiling point is 1382 Celsius. Its density is 2.64 grams per cubic centimeter, and its period number is 5, while its group number is 2. History and uses of strontium was discovered by Adair Crawford, an Irish chemist, in 1790. While studying the mineral whiterate, when he mixed whiterate with a hydrofluoric acid, he did not get the results he expected. He assumed that his sample of whiterite was contaminated with an unknown mineral, which was strontium. Most of the strontium produced today is used in manufacture of colored television picture tubes. It is also used to refine zinc and is combined with iron to make magnets. Two strontium compounds, strontium carbonate and strontium nitrate, burn with a bright red flame and are used in fireworks and signal flares. Strontium carbonate is also used to make certain kinds of glass and it's base material of making most other strontium compounds. Strontium, a radioactive isotope of strontium, is a common product of nuclear explosions. It has a half-life of about 28.8 years and decays into yttrium-90 through beta decay. Strontium-90 is especially deadly since its relatively long half-life. It is strongly radioactive and is absorbed by the body, where it accumulates in the skeletal system. The radiation affects the production of the new blood cells, which eventually leads to death. That is strontium. Thank you.
Beryllium. Beryllium is found in group 2, period 2, and has an atomic number of 4. Its melting point is 1287 degrees Celsius and has a boiling point of 2468 degrees Celsius. Beryllium is used in gears and cogs, particularly in aviation industry. Beryllium is a silvery white metal. It is relatively soft and has low density. Beryllium is used in alloys with copper or nickel to make gyroscopes, springs, and other non-sparking tools. Mixing beryllium with these metals increase their electrical and thermal conductivity. Other beryllium alloys are structural materials for high-speed aircrafts, missiles, spacecrafts, and satellite communications. Beryllium is relatively transparent to X-rays, so ultra-thin beryllium foil is used in X-ray lithography. Beryllium is also used in nuclear reactors as a reflector. The oxide has a very high melting point, making it useful in nuclear work, as well as having ceramic applications. Beryllium and its compounds are toxic. If beryllium dust or fumes are inhaled, it can lead to inflammation of lungs, called pyrolysis. Beryllium is found in about 30 different mineral species. The most important are beryl. Emerald and aquamarine are precious forms of beryl. The metal is usually prepared by reducing beryllium fluoride with magnesium metal.
Could you tell us about yourself?
Like my name? Okay, I'm Rina Reyes. I'm 40-something. I'm a pediatrician. I've been practicing for 14 years. I usually see children, patients 19 years old and below.
We're here to talk about alkaline earth metals. There are about 6 alkaline earth metals: beryllium, magnesium,
calcium, strontium, barium, and radium. Metals of the alkaline earth metal group, like calcium and radium, are important factors in the field of medicine today. As a doctor, do you personally use or prescribe any of the listed elements on your patients?
Yeah, calcium is very important, not just for children, but for adults as well. Um, it's a basic ingredient for the basic food group of babies, like milk and other dairy products. I prescribe it to adult patients, especially women, because they're not able to absorb calcium very well, especially when they reach a certain age wherein the estrogen levels are low. Absorption is somehow compromised when females reach that age. If we lack calcium, then yeah, it corresponds to the health of our bones. Yeah, we go into what we call osteoporosis, wherein there is decrease in bone density. For children with very low calcium in their bodies, wherein there is softening of the bones, then yeah, they suffer from what we call rickets. And then for other patients, there is what we call softening of the bones with pain. We call it osteomalacia, and all these are somehow addressed with calcium supplements.
Calcium is very important for bone growth and development. Why so? How do our bodies react to the use of calcium? Could you further explain your previous answer?
Yeah, in addition to what I mentioned a while ago, the importance of calcium to our bones, it also participates in other chemical reactions in our bodies. Like it's very vital for our clotting factors, like in our bleeding mechanism. If you lack calcium, then there are certain blood factors in our body that will not take place, and the patient would suffer from bleeding disorders. In addition to that, calcium is very vital for muscle contraction. So if we have low calcium levels, we can suffer from cramps. Our heart does not function very well because it requires calcium to help all the muscles in our body contract.
Radium, a member of the alkali earth metal group, is used in radiology. Please tell us more on the benefits of radiation therapy.
Okay, from what I recall, the one who discovered radium was Curie. I think that's a familiar name to you. Okay, radiation therapy is actually an alternative to chemotherapy, wherein you treat cancer patients, although it does not necessarily limit to the treatment of cancer alone. If there are like mass or tumors in our body, not necessarily malignant, radiation therapy can help in making those tumor or mass that has grown in our body smaller. Yeah, but it has to be well calculated because it does not target all the bad cells alone. It affects the good cells as well. That's why radiation therapy is somewhat very similar to chemotherapy, wherein we also watch out for the same things for patients that are post-chemo.
Magnesium is present in antacids. What are antacids and how can we benefit from this?
Okay, magnesium is very, very important in our system in the sense that it participates in hundreds of chemical reactions in our bodies. Again, it's just probably or even more important than calcium. It participates in muscle contractions, in all other chemical reactions in our system. Magnesium, okay, it is usually mixed with another metal, aluminum, and which is oxidized. That's why we permit magnesium aluminum hydroxide. And what magnesium does, along with the aluminum and oxidation, it neutralizes the acids in our system in the sense that it binds with the hydrogen that's being formed in our gut or gastrointestinal tract.
About the other elements like barium, strontium, and beryllium, do you use this in your field of work?
Among the three that you have mentioned, beryllium, what I can remember about it during the time when I studied this element, it's actually just the illness that it can produce. That's why it was stopped. It's used so long time ago. When it was primarily used for industrial, what's this? In the industrial field, if the workers are exposed to it and are able to inhale it, they end up with the lung problems called berylliosis. Strontium, I have not come across it, but yeah, I just know it has something to do with, I don't know. I'm not so familiar.
It's used for teeth and gums, and it's used for toothpaste.
Oh, I really, I don't know. I have no experience whatsoever with it. As far as barium is concerned, yes, I have used it so many times, especially during my training. It's a pigment that actually shows us the status of our gastrointestinal tract. It helps us diagnose illness like when there's an impaction or when there are other anatomic abnormalities in our gastrointestinal tract. It somewhat lines or highlights whatever abnormality there is in our gut.
Okay, in conclusion, as a doctor, what can you say about these alkaline earth metals?
These are actually very important. Metals are somewhat taken for granted, but now that we actually dissected each use of each metal, now we come to realize that we cannot actually live without the others. It has its own benefits. Of course, it has its own side effects as well, like adverse reactions, adverse effects. But for as long as it's used properly into moderation, then yeah, it is very beneficial and it's very important in terms of longevity and health of humankind.
Alright, thank you for your time.